Good evening, ladies and gents. Thank you for joining me with another Tier 2 league race in LSA tonight. My apologies for missing the previous race, as I had some responsibilities to attend to. But the lobby is currently loading up, and I'll see you in about 30 seconds. Sorry for that, everyone. Yeah, I think the cable is starting to gut my mic. I'm so sorry. I've been talking to my screen here, enjoying my own commentary. Sorry for that, but thank you for keeping me up to date in chats and being accompanied by people in the house. But Spikes, good enough for P2. It's still a big margin between Boogeyman and Spikes. And Momonga on a 28-9, looking very representable. Good enough for the second row. Eager to see what he can pull out during the final stages of qualifying. Let's see what bonus has. Destroyer goes over the line for 29-6. Bonus keeping it very cautious here. Aston Martin crossing the line. He will be starting his flying lap of the night. Let's keep an eye on Boneless in that Williams. Let's see if he can crack that top 10 tonight. And Sals manages a 29-2. F1 Andre currently in P6. Very few margins separating him and Moose. And that second row on the starting grid. Bit of a lock up down in the hairpin, but it's expected. It's very easy to lock up coming out of the Degna corners. Let's see if we can keep it together through the spoon sections. Nice and tidy. Not taking any risks. He just wants to get a good qualifying position tonight. Ria's up by 2/10. Let's see what Spikes has for us. Sorry, Andres, you were up in your time. Spikes sending it through the spoon section, coming down on the long back straight on Suzuka. And he has saved up enough ERAs to pull that Red Bull down the straight. Coming down into the Casio triangle. Mounting the curves, very brutal curves, but if you made it to such a satisfying feeling, what will his time be? It's an improvement, but not enough to match Boogeyman's time. And Sal's on his lap now. Not the position you want to see Sal's in down in P7. I think it just may have had a snap on his first run. Coming down into the apron. Nice and easy on the exit. He has a lot of ERAs to play with. Coming down to the spoon. Just get enough traction on the exit. Using that overtake very early. But I would like to see what time he will manage. I see Destroyer goes up to P6 for 29-1. But I think Sals might have an answer to this one. And Sals crosses the line and he pushes Destroyer and moves down. Good enough for third row at 28-9. Few guys in the 28s tonight. A few guys in the 29s. And then at the bottom, the 130s. But I think if a few guys can get it right, we can see all the drivers in the 29s. Boogeyman on this outlap, but I don't think someone will be in contention for pole by the looks of it. Maybe it's just the nerves getting to the drivers. The Mongas on this next lap. Through the S sectors, feathering the throttle. That was beautiful. This might be a representable lap from him. And he's down by 2, and he just loses it. And that's Momonga out of qualifying. That is unfortunate. Oh. Momonga was on for a flyer. Dion is also on a flying lap now. Let's see what the McLaren driver can do for us tonight. Always up there in qualifying. I think this is not on his flying lap. I think it might be between 2 cool down laps. I think there might have been an impeding, but let's hop onto Boogeyman for tonight. The first run. I'm going to stick with him for a while because I've been missing his flying laps. And if he's going to pull a 127, I want it on stream. He's nailing the S sector. Coming down into the Degner. And he is up on his time. Setting a purple sector 1. On the limit, on the cusp of invalidation. Down into the hairpin. Feathering the throttle out. Short shift for traction. This looks like a very solid lap from Boogeyman. If we just can keep it together through Spoon. He is just flat out sending it. He knows he has provisional pole, so what else can he do? Is just to improve on it. Flying down the back straight in the Alpine. And he is up by a 10th. This might be a 28 flat. Can he just nail the final few corners? And that's invalidated. Oh, no, Boogeyman, that was a solid lap. Let's see what Kieran can pull for us here. And that is a fat rear snap. It's so easy to lose traction out of the Spoon corners. Yeah, it's going to be a lot down on his time. And Sal's just not having it in qualifying tonight. Let's see what moves down into P8 can do for us. If Sal needs to crawl his way back to the pits so he can get in that final lap of the night. And Moose is up on his time, so he might be knocking Sal's down a position. If he can just manage to keep it together, not get any more rear snaps. And that will be Moose into P3. Vicious lap. A vicious lap from Moose. Well done. Right down on his time. I think he might be opting for another lap. I think he used up all of his fresh set of soft tires. And all of the drivers are making their way out now. Let's see the Red Bull of spikes. And I think Sals is going for it on this one. Yeah, he's going for it. He doesn't have any time to dance. He knows he's going to have to get the lap in. Otherwise, he has a lot of work to do in the race. And on Suzuka, there's always a heavy threat of rain. And there was a big slide from Salt coming out of the S section. Let's see if it does not get any more rear snaps down into Degner. Keeping it very passive, but he is 2/10 up. So we might be challenging Moose for P3 at the moment. Always the golden rule in F1, slow in and fast out. But the driver's getting out of the way. See if we can nail the spoon section. Don't overcook your tires. But he has drained that ERS battery, so he will be relying on his aerodynamics. But he will get a tow from the Mercedes. Let's see what this time will be. Battery deployed, that will not aid toward his time, but he will slot it in for P3 and knocking Moose down. I think if he had a bit more juice in the tank, he might have been challenging for spikes on the second spot. But Boogeyman at it again is only 0.005 down, I think, up on his time. But it's now or never if he wants to improve on the time. But I don't think anyone will beat the 28.3 tonight besides the driver who slotted in there. And he is up, but only marginal. Let's see if he can nail the final few corners. Very tricky, especially if you're under pressure, but I don't think he has any pressure on this run. His time will, and he will go 28.2. Magnificent lap from Boogeyman, putting some daylight between him and Spikes. Spikes is 2/10 up. If he can, but it's invalidated. That's unlucky. And Andre, he just pulls one out of the bag and gives us a 28.4. That's what you like to see, Andre. Well done. A lot of the drivers crossing the line now. Only marginal improvements. But what a qualifying from Boogeyman and Andre. Very unfortunate for Spikes tonight, who invalidated this lap. And Sals, who also had a rough start to qualifying, but managed to get himself onto the second row. Must be very happy with him. It's still a long race ahead. And I don't know the weather conditions, but there's always a threat of rain in the race. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining me in qualifying. I will be taking a short break before the main race starts.